Hey everyone, Castle Arts have sent me a package with a couple of freebies in. One of them is their new colouring book, which I will be reviewing in a separate video. One of them is their set of Castle Arts Gold 120 oil-based colouring pencils. So I have got already, someone kindly gifted me the 72 set in a tin. These aren't in a tin. So I thought we would open these, have a look at what's inside them. I haven't opened the box yet myself, and also compare what colours there are compared with the 72 set. I hope that might be useful. So let's open the package. It comes in a sort of unsealed box. Now these are in a pencil case. So I've never had a Castle Arts pencil case before, so we can have a look at that and see what it's like as well. But let's just have a look at what we get. So we've got a wrapper around, a cardboard wrapper, and tells us the colours here on the back. I'm just going to slip that off because I figure we'll get some better information inside, but it does just say a gold standard selection of the finest quality oil-based coloured pencils and accessories. Accessories, I assume that's the case. Whoops, I'm just trying to pop that on the floor. So it has one zipper all the way around. I know some people find cases with multiple zippers a little bit annoying, so that might be a good thing. It isn't as thick fabric-wise as some of my other cases, but that's... it's black, it says the Castle Arts on it, and we'll open it. Ooh, there's all sorts inside, hold on. So there's all this inside. I'm just going to remove that. And, okay. So these are actually inside the inside of the case. Okay, so that's the first set of inside. And then we have these, this one sort of attached to that inside piece. And then this flap's attached to the back, two flaps attached to the back one, and some on the back. So that is them, like that. And they come with a very flat top. And I'll take one out to show you. So this sort of blue colour barrel, and the end is dipped, has the pencil name and the number, and as I say, the end is sharp and flat. I don't know if you can see that in focus, but that's that. So that's one of the pencils, and we'll have a look in a minute at what we've got, what else we've got inside, and then we'll look. So this looks like a booklet. It just tells you about the pencils. Wow, how to make that gold item. It doesn't tell you how to colour gold. You can find out that from my book. But there's different things about colouring in there. This is a little leaflet about the website. This is their colour and product guide. It has, interestingly, in the middle a sort of all the colours, colour chart, which is quite fun to look at. You get these with everyone. Now you get a colour pencil tester sheet, which what we're going to be using to swatch the colours in a bit. I should put that to a different side. This is a step-by-step guide. A step-by-step guide to creating the Castle Gold Frieze. It doesn't look like that's... Oh, there it is, in there. Okay, it tells you a bit. There's that one. What do we have here? We have some books. Let's open. I didn't expect to get books. I'm just going to try and open that. I don't have any scissors in here. Hang on. Oh, just noticed I've left a pencil on my desk. Two from my polychroma set that I was using earlier. Sorry, getting distracted there. we get, let's just remove that plastic. Sorry, that lamp glare isn't very nice, is it? Let's put that in the box. So we get, this is a white cartridge paper sketch pad, A5 size, 20 sheets. It's quite toothy, that paper. Yeah, it's not terribly thick, but it's got quite the texture to it. And oh, a black paper sketch pad. That one isn't so toothy, it's much smoother. But again, A5, 20 pages. This is 135 GSM. This is 130 GSM. Bristol board paper sketchbook. This is 250 GSM. Much thicker. Bristol board is what you use for pencils normally. So that's quite nice. 20 sheets again, A5. A beige portrait paper sketch pad, 20 sheets, A5. Oh, look at that colour. Pity I can't print onto this, because I could print paper, could print pictures to colour, but I'll see. I might be able to do that on my printer, I'm not sure. So now what we have left to do is to swatch our pencils. Now I am hoping that the swatch sheet is in the order of the case, or else I might get a little muddled. I'm zoomed out as much as I can, so this is going to be a challenge. Hang on, I know what I can do, bear with me. Oh, that's better. There we go. Just move my tripod a bit higher. Now I will sound further away, but we're going to swatch them all. Now this is going to be quite boring, so what I think I might do is swatch one. Actually, coming a bit closer might be better, never mind. This is the juniper green, it is the first one here. I'm going to swatch it. Now what I like to do when I'm swatching is make sure I've got a really thick coverage in some places, so that I can see what it looks like when you put down lots of layers, and then maybe slightly lighten it across the section, especially when there's one as thick as this, like that. So there is the juniper green, like that. Now I'm actually going to swatch these myself, not on camera, because it's going to get really boring, I think. And then I'll come back and I'll show you the colours, and I'll show you the 72 set, which I've got here, and compare them. So I will be back later. Right, I have swatched out all the colours now on the chart here. I will come in closer and show them all to you in a minute. And I've got the 72 sheet here, which I've done a bit of a comparison as to which are in which. So I'll do that in a minute. I just wanted to point out a few things before I did that. Firstly, one of my pencils here has the name not quite printed on properly. So that's the mint green light. You can see, I don't know how easy it is to see, it's not quite printed on. But the number's nice and clear. But I have to say that in all my experience of Castle Arts, and I've got a lot of sets, I've not had that happen before. So I think that's just a one-off. So I don't think that's anything too much to worry about. I do have to say this is a little annoying having this in here, because you have to sort of bend it around to get your pencil in and out, particularly the end one. It's a little bit awkward, but it's okay. And I found that, I don't know if you can see that, the pencil is drawn on the case. Now this happens to me with other pencil cases that I've got, but this, it was like it when I got it. So I didn't do that, it was already there. Obviously the person who put the pencils in did it. Now again, for me that's not a biggie. I suspect it probably erases off anyway, but for people who like things really perfect, they might not be happy with that. But as I say, and the colour order, we start at green, we go to yellow and white. That annoys me a lot. What I'm going to do is, if you have a look at this swatch chart vaguely, I'll come in closer in a moment, you can see it's in a really strange order. Let me just turn it so it's I don't know what's happened with my camera, it's a very strange angle, never mind. So we start at green and then we go to yellow, and I've got some more greens over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put together my own swatch chart and put them in an order that I like, and make it available on my Ko-fi shop, and that means that you can then, I know what's wrong with my camera, it's slightly turned, there we go. Make it available on my Ko-fi shop so that you can download it if you want one that's in what I feel is a better order. You may not agree. What I tend to do in my Ko-fi shop is I put an Excel file or a Word file, depending on which I've made the chart, and this will probably be Excel, in there that's blank and editable, which means that if you don't like my order, you can move a few of them around and then print it for yourself. So I think that's a useful thing to do. Another thing I've done is I've circled every one that's in the 72 set. When we come in a bit closer, I'll show you, then you'll know which ones you get if you buy the 72 and which ones are exclusively in the 120 set. I think that's important because obviously the 72 set is cheaper than the 120. You obviously get less, but you want to know what you're getting for your money. It is also important to say there's no open stock of Castle Arts pencils at all, which means once one runs out you can't replace it without replacing the whole set. So you either have to buy a new 72 or a new 120 depending on which one it's in. All of the ones in the 72 set are in the 120, let's just make that clear. Okay, now swatching these, they were very smooth and creamy, very much like the well, it's exactly the same as the other ones, gold ones. A few things about colours. There still isn't many really dark reds. There's now a scarlet red and a vermilion. So we've got a few more reds, and the alizarin crimsons. There's a few more reds than in the 72 set, which I always felt was lacking in reds. So there's that. But we'll come in and I'll show you. Let me just come in nice and close. You can see exactly what you'll be getting. I'm coming in as close as I can. Right, let me just move I need to make some space. Here we go. Right. So the juniper green is now, let me explain. I've put a white dot of white Sakura gel pen on each one because some of them bleed into white pen, and I thought I would show you which ones did that while I was showing you the swatches. So we have the juniper green. This is a new edition. This is not in the 72 set. It's not a new edition. They brought both sets out at the same time. I'm talking rubbish. But it's a rather good versatile green, I think. The Prussian green, which I love, is in both sets, and as is the permanent green, again one that I like. The mint green light I rarely use in my 72 set, is in both sets. There is also a mint green, which we'll see later. I'll show it you actually now. There, which is lighter than the mint green light. That bugs me slightly, but you know, little things. We have a castle green light, again that's quite a good colour, and the leaf green light, which is more of a yellowy green. Cadmium orange deep. So yes, the castle green light is actually not in the 72 set, sorry I didn't make that clear. These all are, the cadmium orange deep and the marigold. The brilliant yellow isn't, it's a sort of orangey yellow. Okay, it's quite a nice colour. There aren't that many yellows in the 72 set, so it's quite nice having that extra one. And we have the Naples yellow in both sets. It's a bit brownish, I guess Naples yellow is. Then we have this cadmium yellow light, again a new addition for an exclusive to the 120 set. The golden yellow is in both, but as you can see it's quite pale. So the only bright yellow, we have the primrose yellow in this set only, and the lemon yellow, which is really bright and lovely. So we don't really have a bright yellow, we have a cadmium yellow in both sets. We see that a lot later. But this is a really nice yellow, so it's a nice addition. We get the lemon yellow light in the other set, which is quite useful, but it's not got that richness. I mean, you can obviously mix it with an orange, perhaps, to get a bit more going on there. We have a Tuscan yellow in this set too, which I really liked. I couldn't put my finger on. It was almost fluorescent-y, sherbety yellow. I just really liked it. and we get a warm grey light. Now there aren't many light greys in the other set, so it's quite nice having a light grey, and we get white in both. Cadmium orange light, now this is more for me a bit of a skin tone, a pale skin tone, you know, it's in both, it's quite useful. And then a very pale yellow, which I rarely use, I have to say. It's more like a cream. We also get this one in this set, which is the Tuscan yellow light, again really similar to the Naples yellow light, very pale. And we get a yellow ochre light, which looks slightly to me more orangey than yellow, but I guess the ochres are brownish, aren't they? Then we get our sort of more skin tony types, tangerine, which is just in this set, apricot light, and the pink bloom, which is in both. It's a beautiful colour, I like it. I'm not a pinky person, but the reddy pinky fleshy pinks I do really like. Then in this set only we get a coral, but in both sets we get this light peach and the peach, which are both rather nice. And then we also get the Venetian red, which I like too, and the coral deep. So get quite all those are in both sets. They're going back up to this column. The azalea pink being in both, and the grenadine. The cherry pink, now this one is bled into the white. It's, I don't know, I think these may have done a little bit too. It's quite hard to see, but this one definitely has. Now this scarlet red is only in the 120. If you like your reds, well, there really isn't many at all, but if you like your reds, you're going to want to get one with this in, because your best red in your 72 set is the ochre, which is almost orange. You get the vermilion as well, which is fairly similar to scarlet red, but a little bit less pink, and again useful. And you get the alizarin crimson. I'm trying to work out if it's bled into that white, not too much if it has. Again quite pinky, but still a nice one to have, and you could always mix it with a bit of orange to make a red. We get magenta in both sets, which again quite useful if you want, because there's not many reds in the other set, you can use it to sort of make a red from a orange or a yellowy colour, you know, tone it down a bit. And the Bengal rose deep and the purple light, which are in both sets, and both bleed into white, as does this one, the French rose, which is in both sets, and the purple, which is in both sets. And we get mauve deep in both, and the cobalt purple. Now purples and violety purples are something which are much in abundance in the 120 set of Soft Touch Castle Arts pencils, which are their other big set. There aren't so many in this set, so if you're a big fan of your purples, the other set has got more in. Obviously the pencils are very different, they're much harder, but it's interesting. So we do have this cornflower blue in this 120 set, which is quite purpley. The heather purple is in both, as is the purple lake, but we do have a purple lake deep in this one, which is one of my favourite castle tones. And there is a lavender in both, but we also get this violet deep in this one, which again is quite a nice versatile colour. It's very similar to the heather purple-ish. It's a little bit, I suppose it's a little bit lighter than the heather purple. Now what I was going to say as well is I'm going to put together a chart with both 120 sets of Castle Arts, comparing the colours, because I feel, having not done this yet, that when I swatch them together, say if there's a mauve in the Soft Touch, I can't remember if there is, I don't think it's exactly the same colour as the one in here. So what I'm going to do is get a chart. I'm going to chart them all out so we can see which are in which 120 set, because they aren't identical. There are some the same and some different, and I'm going to swatch them all so that I can have a look and see how close the colours are and what's there. And I'm going to provide that chart for you for free on my Ko-fi shop, and I shall put a link to it in the description of the video. So there will be a swatch chart of the 120 gold range, and also a chart with both this 120 set and the Soft Touch 120 set, sort of comparatively, so you can see what colours are in each and how the colours compare. I think it'll be really useful for you if you're trying to decide which to buy, if to buy, you can have a look and see what's available. Now obviously when I swatch and then I scan and then it looks, you see it on your screen, the colours aren't going to be true. However, you will be able to get an idea of what's available in each and how close they are, which is the point. Okay, where were we? We're in mauve, which you get in both. It's quite a nice colour, and a Venetian blue, which is quite a rare colour. It's like a grey, it's almost a grey lavender, but a little bit darker. And you get a deep version in this one too. You get a nice cobalt turquoise in both. That's a really useful pale blue. It's the palest blue. And here's that mint green we had a quick glance at earlier. You also get the jade green light in both, which is a nice, again, sort of turquoisey colour, quite a useful one. And this one below, the cobalt turquoise, is beautiful. And you get that in both. And the teal is, the teal green is similar-ish, slightly bluer. And then, but it's only available in this 120 set. And then you get the cerulean and the cerulean middle, and they're both available in both sets. And here we have the primary blue, which is available in both, and the ultramarine. I hate ultramarine. It's just me. Cobalt blue deep, it just looks like someone scribbled with a big biro. I don't know. And then there's an indigo light, and all of these are available in both sets, as are these two. This is the leaf green deep and the cadmium green pale. I really like them because they're olivey greens, which is some of my favourites. It's nice you can get them in both. But these sort of more browny greens, the sap, the olive, and the these two are only available in this 120. But you get this one in the 72, which is pretty similar, to be honest. You get the Terra Verde in the 72. Don't really like it. Grey green, not my thing. And you get a Viridian in this set, whoops, which you don't get in the other. Get the Phthalo though in both. And the chrome green, which is a bit of an odd colour. I can't really put my finger on it. It's almost like it's just not bright, and you know. But you get the Phthalo turquoise in both. It's a pretty colour. And the Terra Verde deep, again, one that I just can't work out what it's doing. What is it? Is it cobalt green? I don't know. You get the hookers in both as well, and the cadmium, which I do like. Now, in this set, only you get what's called cool grey, which is really dark. But I guess it's cold grey rather than a browny grey. In both you get a black, and you get the cool grey deep, which to me isn't massively different to the cool grey, a little bit darker. And there are lots more greys too. So in this set you get a charcoal, which is quite nice, a little bit paler. In both sets you get the charcoal. In this set you get a Davies grey, which is a browner grey, and a Payne's grey. This is quite a pale Payne's grey. And in both you get the Dove grey. Again, nice to have a pale grey, and the graphite light. The pale greys are good for silvers and things. In this set alone you get the warm grey, which is slightly brown. I quite like that one. And in both sets you get the blue grey, which to me doesn't look at all blue, but you know, it's fine. Now there are some in this, these are quite interesting, these three, which are unique to this set. You get an oyster, an old rose, and the argent grey. Now these are really interesting colours. They almost look sort of metallic to me, like not quite a rose gold, but maybe the old rose, a bit rose goldy. No, I quite like, I'm quite fascinated with those, a bit different. And we also get an almond in this one, which is really good because it's really rare to have a beige type colour, which is what I sort of think this is. So it's really nice to have that because, as I say, it's rare. You don't get it in polychromos and things like that. A graphite, again, just for this one. And it's actually shiny. I don't know how it's probably can't. Yeah, it's actually got some shine in it, proper, you know, reflective in it like graphite pencil does. This is a really interesting colour too. This is sepia light. Again, only in this 120 set. I don't know what colour I would call that. I don't think I would call it sepia light, but I just like it's an interesting dusky pink, I suppose. And then you get an aubergine in both. And a cadmium yellow in both. We spoke about yellows earlier. This is the only sort of dark, I guess you get, sort of dark yellow in the 72 set. And the yellow ochre and the terracotta light you get in both. It's quite orangey, isn't it? And the cinnamon you get in both. But in this one you also get a terracotta, and in both you get the Chinese orange, which is almost, it's very dark, isn't it? Almost an Indian red. This is new, only in the 120, the redwood. It's quite an interesting colour. And the brown ochre. You get the sepia in both though. It's quite fairly similar, isn't it? Walnut brown light you get in this one. Quite a nice versatile brown, tree trunks, that sort of thing. You get a henna brown, which to me is quite red. Again, a bit like an Indian red. The spice red, I think that used to be called Indian red in this set. They changed the name. But yeah, and a cherry. So these are you get some reds, but they're not scarlety type reds, if you know what I mean. And in both sets you get this purple deep. In this set you get a mulberry. It's another pretty purple, violety purple, which I really like. And you also get a mahogany, which again is a sort of red. So they've definitely got a lot more reds in this set, but these are sort of not pure reds. And then our last column, the permanent brown comes in both. I always find it quite an odd colour. I don't know why, it's sort of grey, purpley brown almost. It's very strange. But in this set you get a Van Dyke brown, which is much more, as the same for the walnut, a bit more tree trunky. You get the burnt umber in both. Permanent brown deep in this set. A slate grey in both, which is quite brown. A walnut brown in this one. Mars black in both. A green gold. That actually looks like it's, yeah, that actually shines like gold a little bit. They all do a bit because of the oil. The earth green, which is a really interesting colour. It's almost like a brown, a green ochre to me. And then this ultramarine light, which is in both sets. Ugh, ultramarine. So there we go. So I hope that was quite interesting for you. So it gives you tells you which are in which set. So you can know whether you must have the 120 because there's just not enough in the 72, that sort of thing. As I say, I will provide a swatch chart for these in the order that I think is right. I know there's not right or wrong. I'm not sure where I'm going to put these and these, but I shall have a think. Yes, do that. And that will be, as I say, pop down the description. It'll all be there. You'll be able to go and follow the links and find them. So yes, so thank you to Castle for sending these. Overall, I don't know how much they cost. I would always recommend waiting for a sale. Castle has sales regularly and they discount different items from time to time, but always wait for a sale because there are so many so often. That's on their website. I'm not sure about Amazon, whether they do the same thing there. These come in a tin as well, so if you prefer tins, which I usually do, depending on the pencil and the tin and everything, there's a tin option. I don't know whether all these books that I got with it, whether these come in the tin or not, or whether you only get these with the case. I've got no idea, so I don't know about that. But that's that. I haven't. Yeah, I'm not going to do any colouring with them today. I think that's quite enough information to be going on with. Obviously, I've done this swatching anyway, so you can see how that works out. But we've done rather a lot. But I will use them in some videos soonish. They are soft and smushy, rather like Prisma. I do find my 72 break fairly easily in a regular sharpener, so I would recommend a hand crank sharpener is probably better for them, as it is for all soft pencils really. And yeah, none of the pencils I got were broken, by the way. I haven't sharpened any of them yet. So yeah, that's always a good thing. I have received boxes of pencils when a lot are broken, not Castles but other brands. So that's all good. So I think that's all the information I can think of. Any questions, pop them in the comments, or any comments at all. If you've got the set, let me know how they are for longevity. If you like them, what your favourite colour is. I'd love to know what everyone's favourite colours are. Even if you haven't got the set, which ones do you like? I think that green gold with that bit of sparkle in it. But no, the mulberry probably for me, or the cobalt turquoise green. Anyway, and even the coral deep Venetian red, those are rather pretty. I can't pick one. I know. No, I can't pick one. Maybe you can, or give me a few. Tell me what your few favourites are, if you've got a handful. But anyway, that's that. Thank you for watching. I hope that was useful. As I say, they did send me a book as well, so there will be a video of that. I might put it before this, I haven't decided yet. Always the indecisive one. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you have a really super day and happy colouring.